All right, guys. Let's see here. No, I'm going live at a random time. Let's see here. Let's bring it up. What's up, Jeremy Sochan? What is up, Josh? What is up, Gregory? Man. Hope everyone's doing well. Dude, I really need to fix this this camera. I feel like there's like a delay. There's a delay. Weird. I don't know. The Goat Clan. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, I thought you weren't going live. It's almost 1 a.m., but I'm happy nonetheless. Yeah. Figured I'd go live. I actually ended up taking a nap, and I was like, yeah, I need to go up. When I got up, I was like, oh crap, I need to go live. Let's see here. The zoomed in looks different. I don't know. Yeah, I need to work on it. Something's going on. Maybe just my eyes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll be real with you. It's not a ton going on. As far as the Spurs are concerned. Here, let me see. Yeah, since there's not a ton going on, what I thought we could do is look at some post games. Hold on. I'm making sure. I'm quadruple checking to make sure I didn't have anything. People send me stuff often. Yeah, this says somebody sent me. I don't really know how to feel about it, so I'm not going over that. So yeah. Good game though. It definitely was a good game nonetheless. Okay? It was a good game nonetheless. I think at this point I can say with all the confidence in the world that Steph Castle is going to be a star. I really do buy into that he'll be a star. And the reason why is because he can do so many things well to the point where in clutch situations and in situations where you need just about anything, he can supply it. Do you need pressure on the rim? Do you need an assist? Do you need rebounding? Like anything that you need, he can basically give it to you. Do you have to go in a small ball lineup? Well, you can move him to small forward, and that's totally fine. You won't really miss a beat. So just overall, man, he has so much versatility, and he kind of reminds me, not fully, okay, because I do think he's more talented. But you know how much I love Derek White. He kind of reminds me of a confident Derek White, in which he can do so many different things, but he doesn't have lack of confidence in his game that's plaguing him. Like he looks like a veteran right off the bat, which is super impressive. And the amount of praise that he's gotten is actually awesome because he's not even shooting the three well, right? He's shooting pretty poorly from three, but everyone can recognize that that's not the only thing that's important. You can see so many different things that he brings to the game and that will lead to winning, right? This is the second game in a row that he nearly had a triple-double. He was one rebound away this game. I think he was one assist away last game. So he looks good, bro. He looks really good. Oh, dang. As soon as I said that, you said that, Zero. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so just real brief, just going over this game. Oh, there's my cat. There's my kitty. You want to say hey to... No? She don't want to say hey to anybody. So this game in particular, I thought that it was a fun one, right? Very close to the point where I actually thought that we were going to pull it off. I don't necessarily know how I feel about going to Harrison Barnes at the end, but I know that he was hot. He had really great percentages this game. I would have preferred the Spurs go to Castle, just to be straight up with you, just to be honest. But let's be real, Harrison Barnes did get a really good look at the rim at the end of the game. So he could have very well made that, right? I don't even think it was a 50-50. I feel like he had like an 80% chance of hitting that based on his game today. Just didn't go through. But overall, they did a really good job. One player in particular that I thought was quite impressive was Devin Vassell. And this is just the type of player he's going to be, right? Like, I really think that he's a third or fourth option on a really good team. And when you're a third or fourth option, you're going to be a little, wanky, right? Wanky? Wonky. I think that's the word I was looking for. Like, he's going to be up and down. He's going to be a little inconsistent. He's going to be frustrating. But at the end of the day, this is what he's capable of, where he could just basically help take over a game. 6 for 10 from 3 is really impressive. And 4 steals along with that is impressive. So I really like Devin Vassell today. I thought he was quite great. And not to say that this excuses his season as a whole or anything. Obviously he's been inconsistent. This is a down year for him, but I did like him. And this also isn't something where I'm saying he just shouldn't be traded at all. Obviously the Spurs are going to be listening. We already know that teams have inquired about Devin Vassell, so they're going to be listening. But at the end of the day, I do like what I saw today. Now the one, we could talk about everybody, right? Steph Castle, obviously I think he's going to be a star. Everyone always gets on to me on how much I praise Sochan. Never once said I think Sochan's going to be a star. Maybe his rookie year, I thought maybe. But even before we got him, before the draft, before anyone knew that the Spurs were going to get him, I liked him. He was at the top of my list in that draft because of his versatility, right? So I didn't expect him to be a star necessarily. But I will say with my whole chest that I think Castle can be a star. I think he will be a star. Like he has everything that you can imagine. He has the ball handling. He has the defense. He has the basketball IQ. He has the rebounding, which I guess that's part of defense as well. He has everything. He has the full package. He just has to get better at 3-point shooting. But yeah, he says superstar. I think his ceiling is that. But if I had to put money on it, I'm going with star. I'm not going to go as far as I don't think I'm going to go as far. If I said superstar, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to say star. If I had to put money on it, but I do think his ceiling is superstar. Like, I think his ceiling is SGA type ceiling. Like, everything as far as his body type compared to SGA is very similar. His play type, his play style is quite similar. It's a lot of things that makes me believe that his ceiling could be that, but more than likely, I think he'll just be a star, possibly like the third best player on our team, and during championship runs. Like that's how I view him. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be one of those situations like Tony Parker, where Tony Parker was a big chunk of his career. He was a star, but then there were quite a few years where we could put him in the superstar category. I don't know if we'll say Tony Parker was a superstar through and through. But yeah, we'll have to see. Girl, why is your fur like this? You need a bat. What fell on you? What did you knock over? Her head is like kind of sticky. What did you do? Gosh, I don't know what she's doing, y'all. Anyways, so I could talk about everybody, but the one player that actually stands out to me is Julian Champagnie. Good God, I feel like I've been waiting forever for Julian to have another good game. It seems like, hold on, I could be tripping here. Let's see. Let's take a look at the log history, because it feels like it's been forever. I am tripping. No, I'm not tripping. I'm tripping a little bit. So the Denver Nuggets, he went 5 for 13. Which that's not good, 38%. But before that, Orlando, 53%. Maybe it's just the consistency. He's been weird, man. He has been quite weird. Let's see. Yeah, he hasn't been great. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So the first 2 months, well, minus October, November and December months, he was averaging nearly 13 points. And then after that, it was 7, and then 6, and then 8. And now he's back up to 16 the start of April. So, yeah, it's nice to see. It's good. Hopefully he can start getting hot going into the offseason, because I really do believe in Julian Champagnie on this squad, right? I think that he can be a very valuable backup small forward or shooting guard, more than likely backup small forward. I really like his game. So overall, that's just how I feel about it, man. I thought that they were very impressive. My takeaway is Steph Castle is a star, or he's going to be a star. His demeanor during the entire game was quite impressive. He didn't rush anything. He picked and chose like when he's going to be aggressive, right? Like, he wasn't just going one mode the entire time. He was trying to see what the defense was going to give him and reacting to that. It was very impressive. He looked like a veteran, guys. He doesn't look like a first-year player. And honestly, with it pretty much being set in stone, he's going to be Rookie of the Year. He could have very well took the foot off the gas pedal, but he didn't. You know, he's still going strong. So I love what I saw from Steph Castle. I will say this is a little random, but from this game, Chris Paul isms kind of irritated me a little bit, right? That one play in which I think it was, he tried to shoot, he thought he was fouled. Steph Castle got the ball, passed it over to Champagnie for the dunk. I think that's the play I'm thinking about. And Chris Paul was whining to the refs during the play. Like, he was looking for a foul and then complaining as the play was going on. We could have very well much so needed him in that situation. And that was in the stretch. So that was down the stretch. So that kind of bothered me. You know, I didn't want to see that. But overall, he had a good game, obviously. 8 assists. It's pretty doggone good. So, yeah. I like Luka better than SGA. Oh, well, me too. Me too. So, anyways. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, Luka won Rookie of the Year. Yeah. Luka was a much better prospect than SGA. I think Luka's a better player than SGA, but SGA's a great player too. Girl, I don't know if you can stay up here this whole time. Oh, somebody says Kitty going to Japan. So how it works is right now I'm still waiting to hear back from this company I applied for, in which I'll be teaching. I would start off teaching English in Japan. Like, that's what I would start off doing. And as far as the apartments that you get that they help you with, it's not cat friendly. So I'm getting all her shots and stuff prepped now. And my plan is, after being there for a little while, maybe like a few months, to go ahead and try to bring her over and I move into a different place. But I really need to be there first and get settled before I can like just straight up be like, all right, cool. I don't want to search for another apartment and I'm not even over there, That would be pretty difficult to do. So yeah. So that's the plan. But she wouldn't mind being with my madre. Yeah, you don't mind, do you? She don't care. All right. What's good, clan? Long time no see. What's up, Wimby? The GOAT Wimby. Yeah, we got Jeremy Sochan in here. We got Wembanyama in here. We got some stars in here today. When's the Spurs' next game? I know the Final Four is tomorrow, right? Oh, we play on Saturday? Okay, let's just do 2 more segments then. I didn't realize we play on Saturday. We got a lot of segments to do after that. Because, oh, wait, we play on Sunday. Yeah, we'll just do a couple more. Girl, what are you doing? See, this is why you can't sit up here. Because you mess with stuff. Can you just sit there? You can sit your head down. You can sit your head down. It's not a lot of room on this desk for you to sit here. If I move this screen back. There. Now you got more room. Look at that. Look at all that room you got. You still want to touch the keyboard. Hold on. Move that way. There you go. And you still want to touch the keyboard. Sunday Blazers, yeah. All right, guys, we need to do an update. Let's give me a second. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okay, Mikas, you can't keep doing that. You're messing up my stuff. Stop. Oh crap, what is it? I forgot what I was looking for now. Stop. I can't even type because she keeps hitting the escape button. Avoid. What's up, man? Oh, you became a member. Thanks, dude. Yeah, if you guys want to become members, that helps me out a lot. Also, I haven't advertised this in a while, but I'm going to do this more. But I have... Where'd it go? Stop. I have a merch shop. So if you guys are interested at all and you want to get yourself some merch, just go to clanthemerchfan.com. And I have a bunch of different stuff. I make all the shirts at home. So it takes a minute to, get them out. So you have to be patient with me. But if you guys were interested at all, you can head on over there. You can go all the way down the page, hit view all products, and you get to see all the different shirts and hoodies and all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested, head on over there, clanthemerchfan.com. Okay. Stop it. Okay. You're getting off. Come on. Ugh. You can't keep doing that. All right. Anyways. What cat breed is your cat? I have no idea. I have no idea what she is. She is, my ex had a cat, and I don't know what she was. And then she made it with some cat in their neighborhood and then had her. I have no idea what any of them are. I don't even know if, they didn't even know what the cat was. Or, yeah. Her mom is a gray cat. I do remember that. Urban cat. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Clan, will you go live for the draft lottery? Heck yeah. Yeah. Obviously. I'm I set my trip to Japan for July for that reason. It's like July 9th. And I set it there so I can do the draft lottery, which is May, right? And then the lottery, which is usually the end of June. So, yeah, I set it up perfectly just for that. And then that will be good, too, because I can, make enough content for, July, because we'll have so much to talk about anyways. And I'll probably go live while in Japan, too. I probably need to test that out and make sure it works right. But, yeah, so, yeah, of course. I'll be going live during the draft lottery. I always do that. Okay, hold on. I need to check something. Oh crap, that was it right there. Dang it. Dang it. Here we go. All right. Okay, So we got a couple post games here, and I want to hear from Steph Castle. Okay, I want to hear what Steph Castle had to say after this game. But before we do, we need an update. We need an update, guys. All right, so here's our update. San Antonio Spurs, which we expected, are still in 13th, and we're probably going to remain in 13th, right? Trailblazers might actually try to lose this game since, you know, it would help them to be in third. I think it would. Trailblazers own their own pick, I think. But I don't know. We can't worry about them. We just need to worry about our Spurs. And what do I want to happen? Honestly, I don't see much benefit in going to 12th, but I also don't want to say I don't want the team to try, right? Because they definitely should try. And the fact that they gave that much of a fight to the Cleveland Cavaliers without our stars speaks volume of their character. So I expect them to go out there and ball and try their best, which is fine. You know, at the end of the day, can't really worry too much about that. The Spurs will be totally fine in this lottery regardless. But what we really want to pay attention to are these Hawks, okay? So let's see if we have any updates here. So the Atlanta Hawks, no updates. Okay, they play the Knicks Saturday. All right, so this will probably be uploaded after this game. So hopefully they lose that. But I guess there's no updates there. And as far as the standings, they're right where they were prior. Let's see if the Magic played today. No, they didn't play either. Or actually, maybe the last time we talked about the Magic was when they played the Spurs, but they just beat the Wizards, so that's good. They could we need to be Magic fans right now, guys, because they play the Hawks twice. So we need the Hawks to continue losing. And then they play the Celtics, which is Celtics might sit some players, right? It's near the end of the season. They might sit some players. There's really no incentive for them to play everybody because by that point, I think it'll be too far for them to get first. Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to get first. So, yeah. So at this point, that's really what we need them to do. Just keep on winning if you're the Magic. And then let's take a look at the Bulls real quick. Let's see. So the Bulls just beat the Trailblazers, so that's good. So they just took care of the Trailblazers. So they're not really on a win. No, they're not on a winning streak. But they won 2 in a row, so that's good if you want to call that a winning streak. So hopefully they remain hot. Well, actually, hold on. I want to see who do they play next. Play the Hornets and then the Cavs. That's going to be tough. And then the Bulls, the Heat, which is going to be pretty tough. Wizards, 76ers. So, yeah, things are pointing towards it being pretty rough for the Hawks, right? Things are pointing towards it being pretty tough for the Hawks. So, hopefully, the Hawks can get knocked out of the top 8 in the East and then be like 10th overall. That would be nice. And then they have a pretty difficult matchup going into the play-in. They'll be at a disadvantage. So that's what we really want. We want them at a disadvantage. We don't want them sitting nice at 8 and having the advantage in the world to potentially make the playoffs. We don't want that. So as it stands right now, things are looking pretty good. Spurs continue to lose, and losing actually, let's be real, losing in a way that if we gotta lose, that's how we want to lose, like with a fight, right? Not just sitting down and taking it, making sure that you put forward a fight. So good stuff all the way around. So we're going to take a listen at what Steph Castle has to say. And yeah, so you probably can hear that. That's my beeper.
Steph,
that's my oven beeper. Hold on, I need to turn that off.
What were your thoughts there at the end? Thinking, that was Harrison was going to sink that, and you guys were going to pull out a heck of a win.
Yeah, I thought it was going in, honestly. He had it going. He got us the last 2 threes to cut it to 1. So I like the play design. I thought he was going to go a little earlier, gave himself a extra second, or gave us a chance for an offensive rebound. But yeah, I was fine with the shot. I live with it.
What about
Talking about the Harrison Barnes shot?
Yeah.
That was Harrison was going to sink that.
Yeah.
He was going to go a little earlier. Gave himself I was fine.
What about just the fight you guys showed to get back in that? I mean, fourth quarter, down double digits, and then got a shot to win at the end.
Yeah, I thought we just stick to our game plan really. First half, I feel like they made a lot of shots. We weren't, fully executing on our game plan, but second half we kind of picked it up, ramped it up defensively, caused a couple turnovers, limited them on the offensive glass. That kind of helped us, get back in it. So, I was happy with the fight we showed to, kind of pull that game.
He's like Kawhi Leonard if Kawhi Leonard slightly emoted a little bit more. You guys see it too, right?
Yeah, man.
Near triple-double 2 games in a row. Is that it all just coming together where you can show every facet of your game? Is that indicative of that?
Yeah.
Who is he looking at? Who is he looking at? Yes. Yeah, he reminds me of Kawhi, bro. Just like, he just emotes like slightly more. Definitely got some Kawhi Leonard in him. I think we just create these players in a lab. I think something really unethical is going on with the San Antonio Spurs. Something very dark. Something very dark. I just got a flash flood alert. I just heard it on my phone.
I thought I had it this game, honestly.
Robot with he's basically a robot with updated AI.
I don't know who was at the scores table, but I thought I had it at the end of this game. But yeah, just being able to show my versatility, on both.
So he thought he had the triple double. Okay.
And rebounding, getting my teammates involved, finding my shot when it's there. So
if I actually don't know this, so Chad, I need you to tell me if you're going for a rebound and you end up like tipping the rebound, like purposely tipping the rebound to a other teammate, is that your steal? I mean, not your steal. Is that your rebound? Because I'm pretty sure with steals, if you get a deflection, right, and then someone else on your team gets that ball, that's your steal. Pretty sure. So is it the same thing with rebounding? Like if you tip it to a teammate that it's a rebound? No, it does not. Oh, okay. That happened in the Nuggets game. Yeah, I saw that. He tipped it out of Westbrook's hands, right? And didn't Keldon get it? And he got credit. Oh, he got credited for it. Okay, so maybe it does happen then. Degrees. Possession constitute the rebound. Okay, so is it literally just up in the air? Is this like 50-50? All right, if anyone sees this video after the fact, not the tip, okay. If anyone sees this video after the fact, if you got any other information on that, let us know. But yeah, but with the steal thing, I'm correct, right? If you deflect it and another teammate gets it, that's your steal. It's not their steal, right? I think that's correct.
So yeah, just putting everything together.
Pretty confident your triple double's coming around the corner for you pretty quick.
I hope so.
I know you weren't probably thinking about this tonight, but it's Final Four time.
But what if you hold the ball in midair after it goes off the rim and then you pass it to another teammate like before you hit the ground? But like you hold it and then like hit it like a volleyball. I don't know. Yes, Paul had a steal that someone tipped in the game. They gave Chris Paul the steal for someone else deflecting it? Okay.
I mean, a year ago at this time, you were in the thick of that.
That shouldn't count.
We've got it here in town.
Yeah.
You see it around town. Does that bring back the memories when you see that stuff around town?
I wouldn't say it brings back. I always think about being in that environment. That was probably the most fun I've ever had in basketball up to this date. So, yeah, just being, with my teammates, guys that you've lived with all year, have the same goal and be able to accomplish it. It's really no feeling like that in basketball. So, I mean, for whoever wins it this go around, they'll be able to experience that.
You got any thoughts on who might win it this year? Or you don't want to win it?
I feel like I know who I think is gonna win it, but I mean, it's not UConn, so I don't really want to say. So,
is it gonna be Duke? Is that what we're talking about? Is it gonna be Duke?
What is your memories of that? I mean, do you have a specific memory of?
By the way, I need to bring this up. I say this a lot, but I need to keep saying it. Okay, I truly think that this is significant, the fact that he won a championship in college. I mean, it takes a lot of mental prowess to get to that stage, and every single game being a game 7 in that tournament, every single one. And I watched UConn throughout that tournament, and even those games where he didn't have the crazy amount of stats, he always played to win, like always. So I just want to say, like, I think that we need to give a little bit more credit to Castle for that, because that's not something that anyone just gets to do, and it's not luck. It's not luck. Maybe a little bit of luck, but it's very difficult going into every single game and it being a game 7. And his nerves weren't really there. He was fine the entire time. Just has great presence on the court. So yeah, I don't think UConn win that championship in particular without this man right here. So
besides cut down the nets or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, when we got
and he fits so many different roles too, right? What we're seeing in the NBA is actually more impressive than what you were even able to see at UConn. But you know, he did a phenomenal job.
I got subbed out. It was like, I don't know how much time was on the clock. You know, we went to go get.
Did we trash Keldon Johnson? I came in late. I did not trash Keldon Johnson.
Give a big hug to Coach. That's probably the most vivid memory I have of that. And then watching the clock go off while we're all standing up on the bench, you know, hugging each other. That's probably my favorite moment in basketball. Well,
you're going to get a much better one when we win a championship. You love to see it, though. You love to see it. So that's Steph Castle. He's awesome. I truly do think that he'll be a star. And, yeah, I'm excited. No, KJ is just mad today. And KJ is either, like, horrible, meh, or you won the game. I would say 60% of the time it's horrible. 30% of the time it's meh. And then 10% of the time he won the game. I think Castle will be better than Kawhi Leonard. Castle, whoa, that's a bro, frosty. Castle has better rookie stats than Kawhi did. It's Kawhi rookie year. First off, Kawhi did, like, he had a lot to work on, maybe even more than Castle. But he was also on a championship caliber team. So, you know, there's the trash. 60% horrible. Yeah. But yeah. No, don't jump to that. Clan, compare the stats just based on stats. I know that he's going to be better. Kawhi Leonard rookie year wasn't like that great. You know, it wasn't that great. Like, it's just that Steph Castle he's coming into a different situation. I will say that his floor is better than Kawhi's. I do think that his floor is better. It's just where Kawhi, like, we're talking a really great player in Kawhi Leonard, y'all. Like, really great. Carries games. Won 2 championships. One of which he was like the primary guy, the go-to guy, and won a championship. Even though in the I'll be honest with you, in the Toronto Raptors finals, he didn't have as much of a presence as he did for the playoff series before the finals. But yeah, that's not. We can't do that. But he doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be Kawhi. There's other stars that weren't Kawhi Leonard, so he doesn't have to be that. All right. Next order of business. All right, guys. Next order of business. I want to listen to what Chris Paul has to say. All right. We haven't listened to Chris Paul in a minute. When's the last time we listened to him? Actually, when's the last time we did a press conference? It's been a long time since we've done a press conference. So let's listen to Chris Paul. See if he got any wisdom for us. Chris, now I will say this. All right, whoa, what's this? Championship? Marvel Rivals? That's getting saved to my watch later, guys. Hoo-hoo. All right. Marvel Rivals is so much fun. Anyways, I'm a Cap main, by the way. Shout out to my Cap mains out there. I'm really good at Cap, like really, really good. I'm not one of those like lame Caps that go 40% accuracy at the end of games. No. I don't do none of that. Okay, Chris Paul. Let's listen what he has to say. He had a Chris Paul-ism, which I didn't really like, down in the stretch in which he was looking for a foul, didn't get it because Steph Castle's great and he kept his head in the game. He ended up getting that possession, passed it over to Julian Champagnie for a dunk. It was beautiful, and it was down the stretch. Crunch time, that is very important. But Chris Paul, during that play, he was complaining to the refs the entire time. Like, he turned his back while the play is happening, he turned his back and cried to the refs. I did not like that. I do not like that. Made me mad. I do not like that. Clarence still think that women can play in the NBA after that one chick got bodied by a high schooler. Because one chick got bodied by. Okay, I'm not. That's bait. That's rage bait. That's rage bait. All right, let's listen. You guys are not going to sidetrack me. Okay, You are not going to sidetrack me.
There at the end, you guys, Harrison's hook. What were you thinking at that point?
Mr. Fantastic Main here. I'm excited for his buffs. Congratulations.
Great play we drew up. You know what I mean? I give Harrison that shot any night. You know what I mean? He'd probably make it 9 out of 10 times. But
I think I said this in the other segment. I thought it was like an 80% shot of him hitting that. So
more happy about the fight we showed.
Trailing most of the game and for the team to continue to fight back. I mean, I know Pop used to always talk about, you can always tell sort of the state of a team by how they play when the cards are down. Can you talk about just this team's ability to continue to fight?
Yeah, that's team got 62 wins over there. We played them pretty well maybe a week and a half ago. At any point we could have let go of the rope, but, we kept fighting and got a few games left to keep trying to build and keep learning and build up confidence.
I think Steph's first triple-double has got to be just around the corner.
What he had tonight?
22, 9, and 10.
Just needed that one.
Second game in a row, he's almost had a triple-double.
Oh, yeah.
I'm maining Emma Frost. This is super random. I'm maining her, bro. She seems so good. I'm maining her. I have my cousin, he plays Psylocke, so that's like perfect. So I'm gonna main her. He also mains Bucky, and now my Cap can, team up perfectly with them.
Yeah, he got a long career, you know what I mean? He's gonna get it enough time.
When you see a game like this, the fight and everything, does it kind of make you feel good about your decision to come here?
That's a good way to phrase that. So if you guys don't know, it's actually, I don't know if this is why the reporter asked this, but it's been going around Twitter, like the idea that maybe he's not happy with his decision to come to San Antonio after all of these like crazy injuries or whatnot. I think a lot of people have been saying that for Fox and Chris Paul. So it's good for him to at least bring that up. But I don't know if it's based off of what he's heard. But yeah, Spurs. I'm in tune with Spurs media, or not Spurs media, Spurs fandom, right?
I always feel good about my decision to come here. You know, I think at this point, especially playing in close games like this, you try to figure out the last 4 minutes down the stretch how to play, how you try to get to the line and stuff, which if you're struggling to score, most teams, if you watched the game last night, Lakers, Warriors, you know, you find ways to get to the line. You get creative and all this stuff. So I tried to do the raise up, shooting a shot, you know, and no foul. The rest said we did the sweep through. I ain't did the sweep through the whole season because they changed the rule, right? Remember I used to do that all the time? I ain't did it one time because he changed the rules. So the hardest part is watching the game and knowing the game, and then you get out there and it's, yeah.
Okay, so that's the exact play that I was talking about. Can you wait till after the play to, I mean, I know you got to react, but he turned, I'm telling you guys, if you don't remember, in the fourth quarter, he turned his entire back to the play. We had a play going on. He turned his entire back and talked to the ref. It was crazy. He's right, but like, come on. Tim Duncan at 40 over this clown. Hey, hold on. Chris Paul is one of ours, okay? We can't. He's one of ours. We can critique, but we got to love him for now. For now, okay? When he's gone, we can start doing that. Tim Duncan is awesome, but let's not call him a clown, all right? Let's not call him out of his name right now.
It's crazy.
Well, let me ask you this. When you get a call that was clearly wrong, seems like you just go down the next time and just say, well, the hell with it. I'm just going to make a play regardless of referees, defenders, whatever.
Oh, wait. Are they criticizing him? Hold on. Wait. It's a good way of, I think Chris Paul, he understands what's being asked. Hold on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hold on.
Well, let me ask you this. When you get a call that was clearly wrong, seems like you just go down the next time and just say, well, the hell with it. I'm just going to make a play regardless of referees, defenders, whatever.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yeah, try to. You get frustrated at some of the things, you know, and of course you got to play on, you know, always got to play.
It was in the middle. He did play on, but it was in the middle of that play where it was like, bro.
Through, but the game is the game, you know, and like I said, you watch enough NBA games, right? When guys come through the lane now and they stick their arms out and the refs call foul, on the competition committee, they say that the sweep through is not a foul anymore because it's not a natural basketball move, right? When we're all learning to play the game of basketball, I was never taught to put my arms out when I shoot a layup. You know, you usually rock the ball back, you know what I mean? But it's just trying to adjust to the differences in what they're going to call on that given night.
With Wemby out and Fox out.
Sorry if you guys can hear that rain. Like I said, it's flash flood warning in my area, and it's raining so hard right now.
Now, has this been a good stretch for Devin to kind of assert himself and be the lead scorer?
Yeah, it is, but you know what I'm hoping for, you know, this team going forward is, you know, these games are all good and well, but this isn't sort of the real NBA. You know, seriously, like.
Is he saying that? I agree. Okay, because we saw. Okay, so I think I know what he's going to explain it, but I think I know what he's saying. All right, let's try to predict. So last season, the Spurs really got it going at the end of the season, and everyone got super excited. And I thought as well, like, oh, we looked really good at the end of the season. But teams are starting to wrap up. You know, they're tired at this point. A lot of these really good teams, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, are getting ready for the playoffs. They're not really focused in on the Spurs. You know, it's one of those games where they're like, yeah, we'll win it, get out of here. And then the Spurs take them by surprise. And, you know, it's when we're actually winning. And you guys recall, like, when we were the Spurs, right? Because we're not the Spurs yet. We're the Spurs, but we're not the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like, when we were the Spurs, every single game was tough. Every single game was tough because every team wanted to play the best. They wanted to play their best against the best, right? They were really locked in, and they want to focus in and beat you. Because if they beat you, then that says something about their squad. It says something about the direction they're going in. And also, the Spurs were also a team that ended up on TV quite often, right? Like, not because of us. I don't think it's because the NBA like loved us or anything, but because we were such a challenge for other teams. If the Knicks go against Spurs, okay, we're going to put that on. Lakers go against Spurs, we're going to put that on, because they know it's going to be a tough game. They know either the Spurs are going to whoop on them or it's going to be a tough 4 quarters. And we don't really have that right now. And I think that a lot of teams that are playing the Spurs aren't really aware of our play style, or not our play style, but not aware of players' tendencies, right? Like they don't go into games worried about Julian Champagnie, right? They don't go into games worried about Mamu. The rap sheet on those guys are going to be very short. They're not really worried about Castle, right? They're just not. Dem Fasel probably has a pretty long one where they have to really focus in on what he does well, but it's not that many guys. So yeah, that's what I think he's going at. That's where I think he's getting at. Because we're not the Spurs, you know what I mean? The beautiful game. Yeah, we're not the Spurs. We'll get there. And we'll be a team that everyone wants to make an example out of. But, that's not us right now. Every single game, the, Spurs, before like 2018, before 2019-ish that they played, every single game has been tougher than any game in the Wemby era thus far. Every single game was tougher than this. Only because we had to be on our game. Even if we blow out a team, it was going to be a tougher one because that team is going to play harder than they might play against this current San Antonio Spurs team. That might be too big of a stretch, what I just said. That might be too big of a stretch because the Spurs have had some pretty tough competition. But they don't really know what to expect going into these games against us, and I don't think they play as hard until the second half.
You can do all you want to without, you still got to play the games, but it's a totally different game when you get Fox, when you get Vic, you know what I mean? And there's a different type of purpose that you play with also when you are a playoff team and you try.
Yes, see what I'm saying? He's completely right. Hold on. Just listen to that one more time.
You can do all. These games are all good and well, but this isn't sort of the real NBA. Seriously, like you can do all you want to without, you still got to play the games, but it's a totally different game when you get Fox, when you get Vic, you know what I mean? And there's a different type of purpose that you play with also.
Teams play harder. Other teams play harder.
You are a playoff team and you're trying to, fight and get ready for that, so that's probably what I hoped and looked for most going into this season is to have our guys get a chance to play really meaningful games, and I know it's coming in the future for these guys, so yeah, it's good and well when guys scoring and doing all that in these games, but when Vic and Fox get out there, that's when you got to figure out how you gonna get in where you fit in.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, personnel matters a lot. I think Wemby does put a target on our back. But yeah, when the Spurs are a playoff team, and you want to make an example, go and look at any Boston Celtics game this season or a Cleveland Cavaliers game this season. These teams don't go in there not ready to play them. They just get outplayed. They don't go in half-heartedly. They're we're playing the Celtics today. I don't know if it's really been that vibe. We're playing the Spurs today. It's been we're playing Wemby, but we just got to make sure Wemby don't beat us. It hasn't been the San Antonio Spurs. They're a problem. You don't have that respectful fear. It used to be a respect. They feared us out of respect. Lakers players, even with Kobe, he feared us, but with respect.
Blake has told me that you've talked to him about how to use his speed and somehow how to not use his speed.
Yeah.
What does that look like to you in a perfect world?
Clan, I really felt like getting KD was not worth it, but if we gave up Fasel and Barnes and maybe a few picks, not Atlanta, is it worth it? I don't think so. You know, like, while KD is a better player than Vassell, obviously, and Barnes, obviously, like Vassell, he has a really great contract. You can keep him for quite a while. Like, you would have him for a long time if you were to hold on to him. And you can also have another season go by, and Vassell's contract is still great if you still want to trade him after that. KD, it's just, the only thing that worries me is it's such a short window for success, and you will have to, it's inevitable that you'll have to give up, at least I'm assuming it's inevitable, that you'll have to give up quite a bit of your future for him. And that makes me a little worried, right? Like, that makes me a little worried, because it literally, the window might just be a couple seasons. And I'm not saying make the playoffs, because I think the Spurs can make the playoffs without KD. I think championship would have to be on your mind if you go get Kevin Durant, right? Like, I don't want to make all these moves just so we can have a guy, you know, win a series in the playoffs, but have a guy for Wemby to learn off of. Like, I think that's overkill, you know? So it really just depends on what you get or what you have to give up. And I don't know if we'll be able to just finesse the Suns, but I don't know. We finessed everybody else. Nah, KD is too expensive and too old. He's not the way to build a dynasty. Yeah, like Fox was a player where you gave up basically nothing, and he's also a long-term point guard for us. Like, he's not like it's not this short window with Fox. I can very well see the Spurs have Fox for maybe 6 seasons, right? Like, at that point, you should be a championship team, and at that point, that would have been many years of helping Castle, right? And helping any of the other young guys that come to the team. So you're really creating a good foundation. You get KD, you just got a few seasons. Like, I don't think it's worth it. And also, I don't think the Spurs have, we went over this before, but I don't think they have the same amount of leverage they did with Fox, because with Fox, his destination was the San Antonio Spurs. With KD, his destination is the Spurs and like also like 4 or 5 different teams. So it's just not the same. You know, I'm assuming you're gonna have to give up more. Too much competition to get KD.
Yeah, tonight he was very assertive and, you know, just calling a play and then breaking it off, you know, and going. And I think as a point guard, you're always trying to find that balance between being aggressive and scoring and finding guys. But Blake, the way he plays when he plays is contagious, right? Because he's a two-way player. He defends.
The fact that Blake Wesley has not been getting... So we always bring up Keldon Johnson and his amount of energy that he brings. No one ever brings up the amount of energy Blake Wesley brings. Well, I guess number one, because he barely gets to play. But the type of energy he brings is actually super impactful because he's such a good defender. Blake had a rough night tonight. Well, Blake Wesley always, you know, he's not the most smooth offensive player in the world, but defensively he's a monster, bro. This is why I didn't understand him not getting any minutes whatsoever. He always deserved some minutes. Give some guys a break, and you're not gonna lose that much defensively. Maybe none at all by playing him. He can be out there for a few minutes. I don't understand that. Him not playing, it was too many DNPs this season. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. He was streaky tonight. Streaky, sure, but like he shouldn't have as many DNPs as he has this season.
He plays hard, and when you got somebody who defends like that, you're gonna live and die with any issues. I mean, any turnovers or anything like that. So I just love how hard he plays, and it's been great to get a chance to see him play.
Is there a secret to him?
He's humble as well. Back in college, he took over the point guard position, and I remember reading an article. We went over it, and he felt kind of weird about it. Like Blake Wesley felt weird about it, and you know, because the other person that was the point guard was a point guard there for a while at that point. But he ended up helping him through it and everything. And he was, you know, he took on that position, but he actually was a little weirded out by it, you know. He didn't go in like, oh yeah, I deserve this. It wasn't like that, like Dejounte did with the Spurs.
Are we a better finisher?
Just more reps and confidence in playing. You know, I told him one time I think he's put a lot of onus on his shot, you know, which he's getting better and better at shooting, but his speed is his weapon. So if he continues to get in the lane and get different finishes, floaters, whatever, now you become so hard to guard because, you know, he's such a great player.
Thanks, Steve. You got to get AC in your.
Since you mentioned the future, since you mentioned the future, I think most of us read Mark Spears' piece in Anscape, in which you sort of hinted strongly that you want to come back and play again.
Yeah, I don't even remember when I did that interview. That was a while ago. I think we was in Sacramento, whenever that was. I think the biggest thing is I'll evaluate after the season once I talk to my family. I appreciate it.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it. He don't know. He got to talk to his folks. He's going to do it. He's probably going to play again. Every year he talks to his family. He's like, yeah, I'm going to play again. So that's probably what happened, right? More than likely. But yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff. You know, Chris Paul, we can say a lot about him, but he is insightful. We can't take that away from him. He always gives us something, right? Always gives us a nugget of something to go off of. So good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Murray got handed the keys with nothing. Dejounte Murray? I mean, yeah, but Dejounte, I was just speaking to when he first came to the San Antonio Spurs, and now he talks back on those memories, and he's like, oh, yeah, they didn't give me the starting position, even though he got the starting position so quick. But he complains about it, that, you know, he should have got it sooner. He's arrogant, bro. Dejounte Murray is very arrogant. When people say, like, is he a Spur or not or whatever, I feel like that goes in different directions on what people think of when they think of a Spur. Me personally, I just think he's not a Spur because there's no humility, bro. Like, I just think he's arrogant. I think Dejounte Murray's arrogant. And I also don't think that he enjoys his teammates. Like, he doesn't do anything outside. Not saying this is a requirement, you know, but when you're the Spurs and the way that they set things up, like, a lot of guys do things together, or, you know, they hang around. From my understanding, Dejounte Murray didn't hang around the team like that. Arrogance in professional sports, I know, right? I would add on arrogance with the Spurs. Like, that's something we're not accustomed to. Like, arrogance with the Spurs. And we could very well just say, well, it's just a personality thing. It didn't affect anything on the court. But it did. It affected a lot on the court. There were so many games that I left irritated, even when we won, because I thought Dejounte Murray made the... You know when you play NBA 2K? You guys ever played NBA 2K? And there's, like, certain attributes that get bumped up and certain things that go down based on what you did, like, in a press conference or whatever. So, like, team chemistry might go up, or team chemistry might go down, but fandom goes up when you're arrogant, right? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, stick with me for a second. I feel like that was Dejounte Murray every single game, where team chemistry goes down, but fandom goes up when he would hit a clutch shot. Because the shots that he would take, yes, it was impressive that he pulled it off and he would win some of these games, but he would have teammates that got hot and he would stop giving them the ball and just shoot it for himself. No reason other than just to get the recognition. There was one game in particular that I remember where Derek White got hot. Like, and as a point guard, he should have been feeding Derek White or playing off of him in some way. He didn't. He just stopped giving him the ball and started taking the shots himself. And after that, that was the game where he started, like, pointing for them to leave. I think it was that game where he was telling the other team, get out of here, get out of here. Okay, so fandom went up because people were like, he just hit a clutch shot and then he told him to get out of our arena. Fandom went up. But I think team chemistry went down doing stuff like that. Yeah, man, Dejounte Murray will wave off hot teammate for his game winners. He did it all the time. So that's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of the 2K team chemistry stat and fandom stat. Like how many fans you get. Because Spurs fans were, man, Spurs, it was crazy how many people didn't call out how bad of a deal that was for the Atlanta Hawks. Like, it kind of blew my mind. I was just happy that we traded them. I was just happy that the Spurs finally committed to the rebuild. I was just happy with it. But I remember talking to Swish Hill, my best friend, by the way, in real life. I was talking to Swish Hill, and we were talking about this, like, for a long time on the phone, like maybe hours on the phone. And we were just talking about how stupid of a deal that was. It was the dumbest deal we've ever seen. Because Dejounte Murray isn't who the Atlanta Hawks thought he was. And it was very obvious it wasn't going to work. There's no way that's going to work. So, yeah, I was like, man, God. The fact that they pulled that off was incredible. Even Steven Jackson is back and forth on the Spurs, but at the end of the day, he got a ring with them. And when Pop went down, he sat for the Spurs and sent him love. Murray was and is all about himself. Yeah, Murray's all about himself, bro. Like, I remember we used to go over, and this might have been petty on my part, but I would go over, because I wanted to document everything, and I still do it. It's just there's nothing really going on with us. But I still do it somewhat. But I used to document every single thing that happened. Every single thing. Every bit of drama, anything. Even if it was like outside of basketball, we would talk about it. And when I tell you that Dejounte Murray, how often he would like gaslight people in his relationships, or how he would like flip things around on other people, it happened so often. And we would go over it. And I had the same reaction from people every single time. Why are we talking about this? You know, why is this important? Actually, funny enough, a lot of times people from different communities, like the drama community, will actually come over, and that keeps up with Dejounte Murray and his relationships or whatever, and say something. But a lot of like Spurs fans are like, didn't see the importance in that. And I think all of that is important, right? I'm not saying like every single like personal thing is important. Like, I don't care what, you know, Jeremy Sochan had for breakfast this morning, you know. But if there is like some weird stuff he's doing on social media where he's gaslighting random people, or he's being kind of a bully in a way, or like he's constantly complaining about family members, or like he's unfollowing teammates, I think all of this is important, right? I think we're getting like a very small sample of a bigger picture. And DJ was like this constantly. And people would wonder, like, why I wasn't that crazy about DJ. And that was why. That was part of it. That was a big part of it. And it was show on the court. But not a lot of people caught it, you know? So, yeah. That's how I feel about him. Yeah, let's see. Luka trade is the dumbest move or trade ever. Murray to Hawks is second most dumb move. Oh, dude. The Luka one is way worse. Like, undoubtedly is way worse. But the DJ one was pretty rough. That made no sense. I also think the DJ one, like for the masses that heard about it, didn't have the same amount of impact as the Luka one, only because people didn't actually watch DJ play. Like, all they knew was, oh, he's kind of like a defensive guard and he made the All-Star game. Like, that's it. They're like, oh, we're gonna star. They didn't actually keep up with DJ. They didn't know who DJ was really. So it went a little under the radar. You had people saying, wow, that's a bad move, but then casual saying, oh, okay, cool. Well, you can look at the Atlanta Hawks fans. They were actually really excited about it. They thought it was a good move, and it wasn't. I remember just being like, who do they think they're getting? Like, what player do they think they're getting for them to make that deal? Hawks always managed to be in the play-in. They wouldn't make the playoffs at all in the West. Clan, off topic, but what was your favorite game to watch in person? I'm going to Portland on Sunday to watch a game. Like ever? Not Spurs related, was the 2011, I think it was 2011 Grizzlies up against the Thunder. That was my favorite game to go see in person. That was insane because Memphis Grizzlies, never was in the playoffs, right? And that atmosphere was insane, bro. Yeah, I went after they beat the Spurs. I was going for them the whole time. I was going for the Spurs the whole time, obviously, but yeah, that would be the one. That was really great. As Spurs fans, we need the Kings to lose. Why do we need the Kings to lose? How does that help us? We need the Kings to lose? DJ is a hooper, but also one-time All-Star, not super or mega. That's like the perfect definition of, and this is why I never really believed in him as a future Spurs point guard, right? This is why I always preferred Derek White over him, is he's a hooper. That's it. Like I didn't see how he played well in the long scheme of things. It seems like his play style in and of itself is a selfish play style, right? Like it's all him. A lot of the assists that he would get would just be dump off passes to like Jakob Poeltl. That was another thing that the Atlanta Hawks didn't get. They didn't understand when making that deal is, the assist numbers look good, but if you paid attention, that's how he was getting his assists. It wasn't high basketball IQ, cross court passes or anything. It was very simple dump off to Jakob Poeltl after a pick and roll if he can't get the shot himself. Like that was most of his. I think we even went, I'm not just saying this too. I think we went back because when people would debate me on this or like get angry with me being so critical of DJ, I think we went back and we looked at the numbers, and a huge percentage of his assists were to Jakob Poeltl. Anytime you get to see the Spurs play live is a privilege. Win or lose, you're going to enjoy the game. Yeah, I'm actually planning on, when everything is actually built, the new Spurs arena and everything, I am making a plan for at that point, because hopefully I'll be overseas. That's what I really want. But I'm making a plan to come over and catch a game, because I definitely want to see that. That seems like a lot of fun. Know what I mean? He said, thanks, my friend. What you mean? It's very sad I couldn't see my boy Wemby, but it would happen eventually. Was the tickets cheap at least? Were the tickets cheap? Yeah, Sochan does all the dirty work. Sochan every season has improved an aspect of his game. Yeah, you can just look at his efficiency. It's improved significantly. I could see Sochan getting a 4-year, $100 million. Yeah, like real talk. I mean, haters will not like this, but real talk, that's a deal. That's a heck of a deal. A 4-year, $100 million for Sochan is a heck of a deal. All things considered, you look around the league, like that's a crazy great deal. And then with the salary cap increase, but it's something about San Antonio, bro. It's something about teams playing in San Antonio that or players playing in San Antonio that they just absolutely love it, bro. They absolutely love it. They're willing to take, pay cut in long scheme of things. I mean, they're millionaires, multimillionaires. So, boo-hoo, I guess. But players are willing to take pay cuts, to play for the Spurs. And I think a big part of that comes down to the environment, the support, just the facilities. They talk amongst each other, right? Like they talk to other NBA players and they get the word of, how it is in their franchises. And a lot of players want to stay with San Antonio. Not a lot of guys want to leave the Spurs. It's good vibes. I can't believe Sochan was out again. Dude's a scrub. All right. Baby oil in the Riverwalk. What? Speaking of baby oil, I'm really looking forward to the South Park coming back. But I'm gonna miss it. I think I'll be in Japan when it comes back. I think it comes back in July, bro. July 9th. I'm gonna catch it at the hotel. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna catch it at the hotel. Can the Spurs, for example, require KCP for Branham and a second pick and then sign with the MLE? You think the Spurs can give up Branham and we give up Branham and a second round pick for KCP? I don't know. I don't know if they'll make that move. I don't think teams have seen enough of Branham for them to make a move like that. But he was supposed to be a lottery pick, so. We have a lot of second round picks, bro. It's going to get moved. Like, Spurs are not keeping all these second round picks. Casuals will say we overpaid when Spurs announced the new Sochan contract. They'll always say that. People think that we overpaid for Vassell. And I will admit that he's having a down season. But even with a down season, you look around the league, we didn't overpay. Like legit, we did not overpay at all. People that are making the same amount, a lot of them, their salaries actually increasing after this year. Like their contract is going up. We front loaded ours to make sure that we're set, in the later down line, and with the possibility of trading them if we need to. But he's not overpaid at all. So I hate that. I hate that people say that. It happens though. Anything over 15 million is overpaid for Sochan. Yeah, you're baiting me. This is rage bait. That's a silly thing. I will argue once we get there. I'll argue about his contract once we get there. But no, that's not an overpay for Sochan, obviously. It's a crazy great deal. Let's do that one. Safe to say I'd rather trade Devin over Jeremy. Oh yeah. If we had a tier here, yeah. So my tier would be Wemby at the very tippy top. Probably with Fox, right? Because we literally gave up nothing for Fox, so just ride that one out. And then he's a tier under Wemby. Wemby's at the tip top, and then Fox is under that, and then maybe we have a tier under that that's Castle and Sochan, both of which I don't think you trade at all. And then Vassell will be under that, and then everybody else. Vassell is one where I'm like, you listen to see what people say, what they want, or what they're willing to give up. I mean, but not something where I'm like, I'm keying in on, yeah, let's get rid of this guy. You know, I don't think that's necessary. My bro clan is up late. Not for long. I will be off in a second. You want to keep a guy that never plays. They're sitting him out. They're tanking. Ugh. They're giving him some rest. So it adds nothing to this team. Okay. Michael Jordan nose ring. What? Does Michael Jordan have a nose ring? I have a nose ring. I need to get a new one. I have a lot of nose rings, but I never wear them. I'm thinking about getting another piercing. I might do that. Yeah, I might do that. That would be cool. Atlanta pick can end up 9 through 12. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. What more than likely the outcome is the Spurs get a 7th or 8th overall pick. Well, probably 8th. They get an 8th overall pick, and then the Atlanta one end up being like 11. Like, it's going to be some late lotteries. But we still have a small glimmer of hope. Small glimmer of hope of being top. I feel like, man, Atlanta is so mediocre. I feel like they're winning just to spite us because we have their pick, you know? That's how it feels. It's like they're winning just to spite us. But they can't rebuild. They literally can't. So not winning, I guess, doesn't make a lot of sense. God, they screwed their franchise up. I don't know why they did that. Such a bad move to go after Dejounte. That was so dumb. Dejounte was selfish with them too, by the way. He was very selfish with them. He played very selfishly. Dyson Daniels would be nasty with Wemby. Dyson Daniels, I was actually on the fence on whether or not I wanted Dyson Daniels or Sochan that draft. I was literally on the fence. I switched between the two, like with the weeks leading up to the draft. Like at one point I wanted Dyson Daniels the most, and then I wanted Sochan the most, and then I wanted Dyson Daniels the most. But yeah. But I was advocating for Sochan like crazy to like the group chats I was in. I was like, dude, that dude's good. But yeah, Dyson Daniels was one I really liked. I think we trade Keldon, Vassell, and 1 picks from this year draft, then we can land KD. We got to give up. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing none of that, Emmanuel. I'm not giving up Vassell and like maybe Keldon and I don't know. I don't want to give up anything. I'll be real with you. I'll just let another team have it. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. It's so much commitment that you're putting forth with this. And I don't think Wemby's ready to make a long playoff run. I could be wrong, but I just don't think he's ready. And like it's like our building blocks are kind of rocky. Our foundation's a little rocky right now. And KD just seems like a player that you add to a team and you're ready to win now. And I don't think the Spurs are ready to win now. So I don't know. Fox didn't feel like that. Fox was not really that bold because we didn't give up anything, but somewhat of a bold move. But he's fit in a position we absolutely need. And then in the next, few years, he'll still be on the squad and we'll be good to go. KD is just one that's a lot of commitment with a short period of time. And if you're trying to create a dynasty, I don't want to say it puts it on hold, but it very much so may. But I don't want to give up Vassell and no. I don't want to do that. Okay, but can you understand that Vassell is not the player we're all expecting him to be? I've come off of like I wonder what the expectation is for Vassell at this point, because I've said I think that he's like third or fourth scoring option on a good team, and I don't know. I don't expect him to be like Wemby's Robin. He's too inconsistent for that. But if you're like a fourth option on a team, scoring wise, then yeah, that's fine. He's very talented. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting him to be like a superstar or nothing. My expectations are lower than it was when we first talked about him. Caps, I feel like you want me to get irritated with your Sochan comment, but they're just silly, man. Caps is shooting 2% from the field right now. Yeah, he's really trying. Exactly, we need a more solid foundation. Fox is a ground floor or maybe mid-level, and KD is a penthouse flagpole. Yeah, it's a bit much, Going after KD, that's a bit much. That's the main thing. I just don't think we get enough out of it. If you get KD, you should be thinking championship. I don't want to get KD to be a mentor to Wemby, or get KD to win a series, a series. I don't want that. And I also, I'll be real with you too. This might be kind of silly on my part to say. I also don't want any bandages. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying about that? I feel like going after Kevin Durant means that you are bought in, you have a short period of time to win, and I also think that he will be a Band-Aid, and I don't want any more Band-Aids, man. I don't want any more bandages. I feel like Kevin Durant coming to the Spurs would be, him kind of hiding some of our flaws, right? Wemby has a lot that he has to work on. He's a phenomenal player, obviously, already one of the top players in the league, which makes him scary. But there's a lot to his game that he has to work on, and I don't want to just lean on a Band-Aid. I don't think that Chris Paul necessarily is that, right? But I feel like KD is so good, right? You look at his numbers, he's so good that he would just be covering up a lot of our issues. And we had this issue before. We had this issue with DeMar DeRozan, where you didn't really gauge how good the team actually was because DeMar DeRozan just hid a lot of your flaws. We had a lot of Band-Aids at that time. LA as well, where we couldn't really get a gauge of how the young guys are or their growth because of how good they were. And that's fine, especially if he was going to be a long-term project like Fox, right? Fox is going to be with us for a while, so you can gradually grow with them. But Kevin Durant, if you get him, you're winning now. Like that's your mindset, is that we need to win a championship now. And I don't think that the team is capable of that. Maybe he helps us get past a series in the playoffs, but I don't think that's enough for us to the type of commitment that would take, especially with so many other teams having their hand in the pot and wanting to go after KD as well. Like, we're not going to have the same amount of leverage that we had with Fox, who only wanted to come to San Antonio. So it's I just don't want to play with it. You know what I mean? I'm done with Band-Aids on the team. I don't want any more Band-Aids. I want us to just be good. I don't want to hide any flaws. Back when the Spurs got what's his name? Guys, who did we grab? David West. Like, you remember when the Spurs got like LA, and then we got David West and all that? Like, we added talent to the team, but they didn't hide any of the flaws of the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like, there was no hiding the flaws. We got those players, and it just made us better, or made us more competitive, or made us more dangerous, gave us more depth, but it didn't hide anything. They weren't Band-Aids. We already had a great product, and they just made it better. You know what I mean? We already had the burger. Actually, we already had the burger and the fries, and they were the ketchup. They were the ketchup, right? I feel like if we bring in KD, you know, we'll have the fries, but he's like the burger. I don't know if that made any sense. That didn't make that much sense, but you get what I'm saying. You get that. I was trying an analogy and I failed at it, but David West was one-dimensional. Well, at that time, David West was a huge signing. Like, the Spurs they were so ridiculously talented. The whole NBA was nervous. That's why I brought up the David West stuff. But I do think that was kind of like, that wouldn't have hid anything. That's the type of deal KD is, you know? Like, I feel like you get KD at this stage of his career when you're already set in stone, playoff runs. Oh, he's going to help you get over the hump, or, you know, he just makes you more dangerous. You know, not a player that you grab and, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. You guys get what I'm saying. Yeah, we were good until Zaza. But aren't we happy? Like, even though we were miserable when all that went down, aren't we happy it went down the way it went down? Or maybe we're not happy the way it went down. But aren't we happy where we're at now? If we still had Kawhi, guys, we would never have gotten Wemby. I don't think. Maybe we would have, because Wemby, I mean, Kawhi deals with a lot of injuries, so maybe, but yeah, screw Kawhi. Yeah, screw Kawhi. I'm better now than with him. Yeah. Spurs need a two-way small forward. Yeah, that will be. Everyone always brings up the backup center, which I agree. But I will prioritize the small forward position. Fill out your starting roster is the most important in my opinion. But yeah, we're gonna need a backup center too. Kawhi's the biggest what if in history. Yeah. I mean, I was comparing Kawhi to like Jordan, bro. Like during his prime. Vic is just a few years away from dominance. Yeah. You gotta keep growing. Yeah. Yeah. Good hair is right. We need a small forward for sure. Oh, I guess that's a good point. He said Kawhi is still a Hall of Famer and didn't reach his potential. Not really a what if. I guess. Yeah, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But there was so many years that he could have won or went on a run to win a championship, and injuries just got in the way of it. You know, like there's so many. He could have been way better than he is even right now. You know, like there's a lot of wasted seasons because of his injuries. So like right now he's going to be remembered as like a great player, right? But I think he might have been on a trajectory of being like a legendary player. I don't think people are going to put him in the category of legendary. Like his talent so good, I could have seen people putting him in like top 10 lists, and I don't think we'll ever see that now. He's also top 75, by the way. Yeah. Lots of guys are top 75, but aren't in the like legendary status. You know what I mean? Also, what a dumb top 75. I think Kawhi deserves to be in there, but like, good God, bro. I hate that they just kept the previous top 50 like in the 75 out of respect and then added in. That was dumb. Some of those players should have been kicked out. I think they basically kept all of them. You exhausted? Yeah, you have a good night. It's so funny, Chris. Every time you say that is when I'm getting ready to get off. So, like, you hop off at the perfect time because I'm about to hop off myself, guys. Okay, before I leave, is there a difference between riblets and rib tips? I need to know this because I told my girlfriend I was making riblets, and then when I look at the package, it said rib tips. Is there a difference? Is it the same thing? I'm gonna wait for somebody to answer this. Does anyone know? You probably just read it wrong. What are riblets? Yes, riblets are pieces, portions of the rib. Tips are just tips. What? So riblets is just any part of the rib, and then the tips are just the tips of the rib. So are rib tips better than riblets? Which ones taste better? Every time I have riblets, they're not like that great. Like I had some at Applebee's a few years ago, and it tastes like cafeteria food. No, yeah, you see, riblets versus rib tips. Here we go. Riblets are smaller pieces cut from full rack of ribs, while rib tips are meaty chunks from the underside of spare ribs, containing cartilage but no bone. Oh. Oh, right. Maybe I'll like rib tips more. Because I don't really like riblets. Let's see here. Okay, that's ribbed. Hold on. I'm not going to Facebook. Let's see what we got here. We got some images. Yeah, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Wait. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like that. And that says baby back ribs. Are baby back ribs rib tips? I don't know anything. I don't know about food, y'all. I don't know anything about food. I just make things and eat it. I don't know. What is this? Ribs? Oops. I almost saved an image of some ribs. So let's open this. There's the rib tips, the skirt, and that's a rib. So it's the underside of, okay. All right. Crispy chicken over Chick-fil-A sandwich? What do you mean? Crispy chicken over Chick-fil-A sandwich. I haven't had any chicken sandwich that's better than Chick-fil-A sandwich, so I don't know what's going on here. Clan, both are good. Just depends on how you season. Oh, I season. Riblets have bones and tips shouldn't have bones. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll update you guys. Okay. I'm literally cooking 3 of them. I might have some tonight. Honestly, I'm kind of hungry. I haven't really ate today. My sleep schedule's all jacked up. I was sleeping today. Woke up, took a nap. It's all over the place. I don't know what's going on with me. I need to go to the gym too. I haven't been to the gym in like 4 days, y'all. Popeye's sandwich is not better than Chick-fil-A's. Come on now. Let's be real. Let's be for real here. Now I'm on keto. I'm eating low carb, okay? So I can't have these delicious sandwiches. But let's be honest with ourselves here, okay? Most of like Popeye's chicken sandwich doesn't even taste like chicken. It's strange. And most of it's the batter. Like most of it's just like the flour or whatever, like that you're eating. Like you're not. Chick-fil-A is top notch. All right. Well, I don't like Chick-fil-A as a company. The food is top notch. Wait, what? What is that? Oh, that's what I was doing. Oh, wait, no, I wasn't doing this. A popular technique for cooking ribs involving 3 hours of smoking, 2 hours of wrapping in foil, and 1 hour of finishing. I'm not smoking these ribs, man. I'm not doing that. It's raining like crazy outside. I give up. I'm not doing that. Popeye's spicy chicken is fire. Popeye's spicy chicken. It's not. It is good. It's not as good as a Chick-fil-A sandwich, guys. Like, let's be for real here. I know Chick-fil-A been around forever. But come on. It's not even touching it, bro. There was this one place near where my parents live that did chicken sandwiches. It was so delicious, but they're not there anymore. And I can't even remember what they were called. I don't know if they were a chain or not. It was so freaking delicious, bro. I need to look into that. What was it called? Oh, that was it. Oh, wait, they just closed. What the heck? They closed last month? Wait, I haven't seen them. It was a place called Farm Fowl or Foal. Permanently closed. That makes me sad. Do they have any other restaurants? Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys a best chicken sandwich I ever had. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna be real. These pictures don't look that enticing, but I promise you it's delicious. Yeah, it was a place called Farm Foal, and it was so freaking good, y'all. It was so delicious. You can't really tell how big the sandwich is, but it's humongous. But yeah, unfortunately they closed down. That sucks. All right, let's look at fast food chicken sandwiches ranked. That looks bomb. It was so good, y'all. There's a place in Memphis Crap, what is it called? Memphis. I can't remember what it's called. Give me a second. Okay, I can't just put Midtown, can I? It's so good. Let's see if I can find it. Let's look at here. Memphis. Oh, here it is. Belly Acres. Belly Acres? Best burger in the world. You're not touching Belly Acres. It's so delicious. Their burgers are so good, bro. That's a chicken sandwich there. Look at this. You don't get better than this. You do not get better than this. Anyways. Fast food ranked. Chicken sandwich. Let's see if they get it right. Okay, you got the McCrispy McDonald's at 10. Sonic Crispy at 9. I didn't even know Sonic had crispy chicken sandwiches. By the way, Sonic has gotten worse. Their burgers aren't what they used to be. KFC classic chicken sandwich. I don't think I've had that. I never had a chicken sandwich from Burger King. Culver's. I never had a chicken sandwich from Culver's. Wendy's. Okay, I think Wendy's deserves to be in the top 5. I haven't had that. There's the Popeyes classic. I never had Rising Cane's. I like they're using like actual, you know. What is Shake Shack? The heck is Shake Shack? And then Chick-fil-A gotta be not. Yeah. What is up with these images? I've never had a Chick-fil-A sandwich that looked like this. I've never had a Chick-fil-A sandwich that looked like this. You get way more meat than this. What is this? Shake Shack is good. West Coast. Oh, okay. But there you go. In my opinion, yeah, I guess Popeyes is second. I've never seen a Chick-fil-A sandwich. You guys should make your own Chick-fil-A sandwiches. You could look it up like on Google and just say like Chick-fil-A style sandwich recipe. It's awesome. I do a keto version of it. You can use almond flour. You can use, there's this flour on Amazon you can get that's like basically the same as wheat flour, but it's not wheat flour. 0 carbs. And I do Chick-fil-A sandwiches. It tastes pretty similar. It's not 1-to-1, but it's pretty freaking close. And then you can get keto buns as well, and then you can put butter on them and butter them up and all that. Raising? What'd I say? I said rising? Raisin Canes? I've never been to Raisin Canes. Yeah, everyone sat on it. It's like they were afraid that the image, like they only had so much room for each image, so they had to smash the burgers to fit in the picture. I don't know what the heck was going on. Yeah, because this one's just smashed, bro. Like, Sonic has dropped. They used to have chicken patty melt with bacon. It was my favorite until they removed it from the menu. All right, guys, our big backs are starting to show. All right, all of our big backs are showing. Crystals, White Castle, Rallies. Rallies has lost quality as well, bro. Crystals and White Castle is basically the same thing. I make my own homemade chicken sandwiches, and I make mine real spicy and crispy. Heck yeah. Dave's Hot Chicken and Main Chick. Never had that. Okay, I'm hopping off. I love you guys. I will see you Sunday. I'll see you Sunday after that game. It'll be an early one. I'll get with you later. I'll put the segments out tomorrow. So everybody have a good night. I need to finish this these rib tips, I guess. Good night. Yeah, have a good night.